Ladies and gentlemen, listen up. Great sex and the right lies will have you wasting many years of your life. If you look back over all the relationships that you've been in, and if you take a close evaluation of those relationships outside of sex and the lies that you received, what else did you get? Think about it.
She handed every man watching the permission to audit the last 5 years. Sex, lies, everything else. Blank. When you remove those two things from every relationship you've been in and there's nothing left, that's not a bad luck streak. That's a selection pattern revealing itself. The man who ran this audit first and updated his criteria is the one who stopped performing on demand and started selecting with intention.
If she starts weaponizing her vagina with you, or she starts negotiating for sex, or making you compromise yourself for sex, or giving you a tit for a tat, the number one thing you need to do is weaponize your attention. Because your attention as a man is your currency. Women love attention more than they love sex. Like, have you ever seen a male prostitute? Very rarely. You don't see a male prostitute. The reason why is because women value sex more than men. Women love attention and validation. And if you deprive her of your attention, that's how you can really affect her. And that's how you can really have, negotiating power with women. Okay, so the biggest, I say this all the time, like, your biggest power as a man is your power to walk away. If you can't walk away from a woman, you're fucked. It's like in negotiation. The people who can say no and walk away have the most power in the negotiating table. See what I mean? So with women, just as she starts weaponizing her vagina, start weaponizing your attention.
Women build their leverage on one asset. Men found a counter leverage they didn't see coming. Attention withdrawal hits harder than anything else because it says, you are no longer interesting enough to hold my focus. And for a woman who has built her identity around being looked at, that lands differently than any argument ever could. The man who can walk away from anything isn't cold. He's free, and free men can't be controlled.
When you say I don't chase women, my first initial thought is, well, then go find your man. You likely aren't making plans. You aren't initiating conversation. Your text messages are really dry. What are you doing? Are you wanting the woman to chase you? Because if that's the case, then you probably aren't even into women. You're probably into men. I just don't get it when men say things like this. You probably don't text first in the morning. You don't say good morning. You don't say good night. You don't check in. Like, you want to be single. That's what you should be. If you're not pursuing a woman, then you want to be a woman. Like, this is the problem with guys nowadays. They're so fucking feminine that they want the women to do their job. No.
Men don't chase. She called it gay. We call it efficient. She described masculine independence as a character defect because it doesn't serve her acquisition strategy. A man who doesn't chase isn't broken. He's just not auditioning. The man she actually wants doesn't chase either. He pursues with intention from a place of abundance. She doesn't know the difference, and that gap is the whole problem.
Women feel more comfortable with insecure men because, let's just be honest, insecure men are just going to build up a woman more. Like, they're just going to lift a woman up just a little bit more than a confident man. So when a woman meets a confident, driven, calm man, she doesn't know how to approach him. She doesn't, because she's used to insecure men that don't know how to talk to her, men that are, trying to prove they're masculine.
She told on herself and the whole culture in one sentence. Women optimize for the man they can manage. The man who manages himself doesn't need their management. That makes him unreadable and therefore uncontrollable. The confident man isn't intimidating because he's too much. He's unreadable because she's spent years learning to read insecurity, not strength. different skill set entirely.
Am I the only one that finds this kind of stuff insanely weird? Think about what the word chase means. When you chase something, it means it's eluding you. It's running away from you. When I was younger, we had a dog and she would sometimes get outside and we'd have to chase after her and she kept running away from us. So we'd spend the time running after her and trying to catch her. Because she was very small and very fast, what we ended up figuring out as a family is that running after her and chasing her didn't work. You know what worked? We'd say, hey, come get your treat. And you know what? Most of the time, she would come and get the treat from us. And this is how it works with women, because women that want to be chased, they don't want to be caught. They're addicted to the feeling of being chased and pursued. Let me tell you something. Every man that does well with women eventually learns what my family did with the dog treat for our dog. You don't chase after women, you attract them in. And the dog treat equivalent is your mission, it's your physique, it's the way you carry yourself. From that place as a man, you can pursue cleanly with intention. And guess what? If the woman you're pursuing doesn't want you, you don't chase her. You know why? Because you have a mindset of abundance and you have plenty of options in your life. You move on to the next one.
The dog came back for the treat, but never came back when chased. This is the whole playbook in under 2 minutes. Build something worth coming toward. Pursue once with intention. If she's not interested, you have options. Move. Not complicated, not cold. Just the actual strategy underneath all the noise.
All women today are basically prostitutes. Even if you're married, you're to. In a way, I don't think most women are into sex. They're into what sex can bring them, which is the money, all the fun trips, the surgeries, the makeup, the clothes, everything they can put on the gram. They're in it to satisfy your itch so they can get what they want. But in the end, they don't want to have it. They want to get the marriage bill, pop out the child so they can get the bag secured, and then they're retired.
She described the business model that this modern women are running. The transaction was always there. The problem is men are now reading the terms and conditions before signing. They're furious that the fine print finally got read. When you reduce yourself to a transaction, don't be surprised when the other party starts looking for better terms.
Sometimes I forget, men really just want to. If they lust for you, they'll really do anything to get it. Dudes are not nice to me just to be nice. I heard someone say that lust looks like love until it's time to sacrifice something. Yeah.
She cracked the code and then immediately forgot she was holding the key. If lust looks like love until sacrifice is required, apply that same test to her. Has she sacrificed anything? Contributed anything? Given up anything for the partnership? The test works in both directions. Most men fail it. So do most women. The difference is who gets told about it publicly.
We are fucked as a generation of women. Let me tell you what. Oh my God. So I am on the freeway, right? My freaking tire, my tire light comes on. I pull over at the gas station. My tire wall is busted out, right? I'm at a gas station. There's multiple men in work trucks. And I literally was like, can someone please help me change my tire? I will pay you. All of them said no.
Right.
All of them said no.
That's okay.
This one man was like, do you need a jump off? I can do that. But you can't change a tire? I'm the most independent person, and this is probably the one thing that I've never had to do.
You're independent
because I grew up in a family of men. Of men. So, here's my life right now. I'm stressed. My boyfriend's on his way, but I was trying to get somebody who could do it quick because we live in LA, and traffic is a fucking bitch. And I was crying. I'm just a girl. What the hell? Literally, and all the men just kind of looked at me. One man was literally, his truck business said mechanic on it. And he was like, no, I can't.
Okay.
What do you mean?
She's a strong and independent woman. Those men didn't abandon their values. They applied the values the culture gave them. Don't offer unsolicited help. Respect her independence. She doesn't need you. She didn't want independence in that moment. She wanted a man. The men who were trained to disappear had disappeared exactly on schedule. The culture she benefited from delivered her the gas station she deserves.
There's no real men anymore in this world, and let me tell you why. Every day after work, I'm like a server, right? Every day after work, I go to this gas station and I gamble. I gamble like $50, $100, who knows? That's my hobby, that's what I do, whatever. I go in there tonight to gamble and I put money in a machine and it took my 20, and I was like, you know what, I think I'm gonna try one of the other ones. And remember, I go in here every night pretty much. So I get up and I go to another machine, and at the same time, this guy got up and was walking towards the cashier for some reason, and he said, don't go to that machine, I'm at that machine. And I was like, I'm not gonna go to your machine, don't worry. And so I go over there, I see a phone on one machine, so I go to one where there's nothing in front of it. He's like, what the fuck are you doing? That's my machine. I said, which one is your machine? The one with the phone? And he's like, all of them are. I don't even know why the fuck you're in here. And I look at the cashier like, excuse me, nothing. Didn't say a freaking word. So of course I stood up for myself because, whatever. I go in there every freaking night, and you're gonna let a man disrespect. There's like 12 machines. Okay, you're gonna sit here and let him have them all. First of all, you can't do that. Come on, that's just freaking manners. Okay, and the fact that he didn't say, hey, calm down, whatever, just nothing. He just let him freaking disrespect me. He didn't say a freaking word. I can't, men aren't men anymore. The fact that he was disrespecting me was just on a whole other level. And then the fact that the cashier didn't say a freaking word to him, nothing. I was going in there every night gambling $50 to $100, and now I will never go in there ever again. So, I don't know, that's that. But I'm just glad, because I know my man, he's short of a lot of things. I'm not saying he's perfect. He's not perfect at all. He has a lot of flaws. But I'll tell you one thing. He would never, ever let a man disrespect me in public. Ever. He would. I don't care if the guy was 12 feet taller than him. He don't care. He would stand up for me. That's one thing I can say about my man. And he pumps my gas.
She gambles $50 to $100 a night. Expects strangers to protect her. Complains there are no real men. Then describes her real man at the end. Short, imperfect, but loyal and protective. She already has the man she said didn't exist. She just started the video by describing him as a bonus feature instead of the headline.
Men always talking about they looking for a woman that be their peace. Be my peace. I'm a Leo. Ain't nothing peaceful about me. Nothing. This is a whole ass parade, okay? Like, this is a New Year's Eve party in this bitch. If you want something peaceful, go get you another bitch.
She is the noise complaint. She announced this publicly with pride, which is its own kind of self-awareness. At least she's honest. The problem is, she's not connecting the announcement to the dating results. A whole New Year's Eve party inside a studio apartment is called a noise violation. Not everyone wants to live next to it.
If your woman is mean all the time, if she's just a bitch, if she's just one of them girls that's never happy, she wants to complain about everything, she never stops, forget about the reason behind it. Just leave her. Alright? That type of woman will never be happy, no matter what you do. If she is always angry and she's always snapping and she's never positive, she's just always a drag and she's always putting you down, let her go. Alright? She's psychologically messed up and you can't fix her. Tell her to go see a therapist, but move on, y'all. Move on.
Short. Correct. No elaboration needed. A man who has already done his own inner work doesn't take on a renovation project that hasn't asked to be renovated. You can't pour healing into someone who hasn't cleared the space for it. Move on. Let her figure it out with the professional she actually needs.
A woman cannot give you peace. A woman, in order for her to even come close to giving you peace, you have to bring some tension into your relationship, some conflict, a little bit of drama here and there. I know we all want peace. However, most women can't give you that peace. You know where you're going to get peace from? Yourself. That's where you get peace from. You're not going to get peace from anybody but yourself. This is the mistake all of you guys make, is you basically live for the relationship. If your relationship isn't okay, you are not okay. However, when your relationship is okay, suddenly you're okay too. And guess what? That's not okay, because these are the things that kill attraction, kill desire with your girl. And you will notice she will slowly start to distance herself from you, just emotionally, mentally, even physically, right? She might not do all those like crazy things you like that she does physically anymore, is because now you have just become too weak in this sense. And this is a mistake that so many guys make. There's really no excuse for it anymore these days, by the way, guys. There's no excuse for it because there's so much of this knowledge out.
He said the one thing most men spend years learning the expensive way. Your peace is yours. It doesn't live in her approval or in the health of the relationship. When your emotional stability is tied to another person's behavior, you've handed them the remote control to your well-being. Build your peace internally. Then you can share it without losing it.
If you are a woman who have the tendency to nitpick, you always got to point out insignificant details, These are indications that you are insecure and argumentative. You always gotta be right. You can't let it go. Woo. That is a toxic cocktail. So I'm wondering, like, if you're like this towards women, especially women you don't even know, I can imagine how you are with a man in your personal life. So fellas, if you really want to know the type of woman that you have, observe how she interact with other women. Fellas, be aware of the type of woman you are getting involved with. I mean, don't you already have enough stress at the workplace? Do you really want to come home to it too?
The field test for the woman you're dating is in how she treats people who can't give her anything. Watch her with the waitress. Watch her with her friends. Watch her with women she doesn't like. That's the unedited version of who you're bringing home. The audition face always fades. The real face is already visible if you're looking at the right things.
There are women who are mad at their man right now because they saw somebody else's husband on social media laying out the roses and rose petals, the bottle of champagne. They don't know that the woman is the one who set it up and she just pretended that it was him.
She set the stage, placed the props, took the photo, and let the internet believe her man did it. We close here because this clip is the ending this entire video was building toward. The performance was never about the relationship. It was always about the audience. The roses, the champagne, the caption, all of it staged for people who will never know the truth. A man who builds something real doesn't need to perform it for an audience. He lives it. And the woman who joins him in building it doesn't need the caption because she already has the thing. Build real. Choose real. And never let a staged performance make you feel like your actual life isn't enough. Drop a like, share this with a brother who needed to hear it. Subscribe and stay in the room. See you in the next one.